At 9 months pregnant, I was in the final stretch of my term, and my body heavy with a baby due any day. But my husband, Vito Falcone, underboss of the family, had locked me away. He held me in a sterile underground medical room and injected me with a labor suppressant. As I screamed in agony, he coldly told me to endure it. Because his brother's widow, Scarlett, was expected to go into labor at the exact same time. A blood oath he'd made with his late brother declared that the firstborn son would inherit the family's lucrative West Coast territory. That inheritance belongs to Scarlett's child, he said. With Demon gone, she is utterly alone and destitute. You have my love, Alessia. All of it. I just need her to deliver safely. Then it's your turn. The drug was a constant, agonizing torment. I begged him to take me to a hospital. He grabbed me by the throat, forcing me to meet his icy gaze. Stop the act. I know you're fine. You're just trying to steal the inheritance. To get ahead of Scarlett, you'll stop at nothing. My face was ashen. My body convulsed as I managed a desperate whisper. The baby's coming. I don't care about the inheritance. I just love you, and I want our child to be born safely. He sneered. If you were really that innocent, if you had an ounce of love for me, you wouldn't have forced Scarlett to sign that prenup, waiving her child's inheritance rights. Don't worry, I'll be back for you after she's given birth. You're carrying my own flesh and blood, after all. He kept a vigil outside Scarlett's delivery room all night. It was only after seeing the newborn in her arms that he remembered me. He finally sent his second in command, Marco, to release me. But when Marco finally called, his voice was shaking. Boss, the missus and the baby, they're gone. In that moment, Vito Falcone shattered. Chapter 1. At 9 months pregnant, I was in the final stretch of my term, and my body heavy with a baby due any day. But my husband, Vito Falcone, underboss of the family, had locked me away. He held me in a sterile underground medical room and injected me with a labor suppressant. As I screamed in agony, he coldly told me to endure it. Because his brother's widow, Scarlett, was expected to go into labor at the exact same time. A blood oath he'd made with his late brother declared that the firstborn son would inherit the family's lucrative West Coast territory. That inheritance belongs to Scarlett's child, he said. With Demon gone, she is utterly alone and destitute. You have my love, Alessia. All of it. I just need her to deliver safely. Then it's your turn. The drug was a constant, agonizing torment. I begged him to take me to a hospital. He grabbed me by the throat, forcing me to meet his icy gaze. Stop the act. I know you're fine. You're just trying to steal the inheritance. To get ahead of Scarlett, you'll stop at nothing. My face was ashen. My body convulsed as I managed a desperate whisper. The baby's coming. I don't care about the inheritance. I just love you, and I want our child to be born safely. He sneered. If you were really that innocent, if you had an ounce of love for me, you wouldn't have forced Scarlett to sign that prenup, waiving her child's inheritance rights. Don't worry, I'll be back for you after she's given birth. You're carrying my own flesh and blood, after all. He kept a vigil outside Scarlett's delivery room all night. It was only after seeing the newborn in her arms that he remembered me. He finally sent his second in command, Marco, to release me. But when Marco finally called, his voice was shaking. Boss, the missus and the baby, they're gone. In that moment, Vito Falcone shattered. Heavily pregnant, I dragged myself across the floor, crawling toward the heavy steel door. Just as the heavy door slammed shut with a deafening bang, my fingers were caught in the jam. I heard the sickening crunch of bone. A fresh wave of agony ripped through me, overwhelming the torment of the drug. A piercing scream tore from my throat, but Vito's mind was entirely on Scarlett. He was deaf to my cries. Suddenly, warm fluid leaked down. I knew my water had broken. Fear, cold and absolute, consumed me. My only light was the faint, ghostly green glow of a single emergency exit sign above the door. I forced myself to stay calm, pounding on the door and screaming for help. But this was Vito's private surgical room, isolated and soundproof, where was plunged into near total darkness, with no windows to the outside world. No one could hear my weakening cries. The baby inside me kicked violently, as if trying to break free from this cold prison. I was soaked through, though I couldn't tell if it was with sweat or blood. The toxins in the labor suppressant were sapping my strength, draining the life from me with every passing second. I summoned my last ounce of energy for one final, desperate scream. Finally, I heard footsteps outside. Please, help me, I shrieked, my voice raw. I'm locked in the surgical room. I'm in labor. I repeated it over and over, thinking my salvation had come. But then a voice answered, dripping with sadistic glee. Well, Alessia, look at the pathetic state you're in. Vito should have taught you to obey a long time ago. It was Vito's sister, Gianna. I squeezed my eyes shut, fighting to keep my voice steady. Gianna, please, let me out. The baby's coming. I can't hold on. Gianna pushed open the door and stared down at me, her face a mask of pure contempt. For a fleeting moment, I thought she might help. The next, she slammed her foot into my ribs. The blow stole my breath, and black spots danced in my vision. Her voice was as sharp as a razor's edge. Let you out? So you can ruin Scarlett's delivery? Just stay put, Alessia. Vito sent me to watch you. You're not fit to be Vito's wife. He wanted me to make sure you stayed put and reflected on what you've done. Vito has enough on his plate without you causing more trouble. Scarlett's child will be the heir to this family. Your little tricks won't change that. Another violent contraction ripped a scream from my lips. Tears streamed down my cheeks as I gasped. My child won't be part of the family business. I'll give up everything. Get a message to Vito. Let me go. I will vanish from this family and never look back. I swear on it. My scream seemed only to infuriate her. She scowled. Slut. Who do you think you're seducing with all that noise? Pathetic. Then she keyed her walkie-talkie, contacting Vito. The combined agony of the drug and the impending birth was tearing my soul apart. No problem, Vito. Don't worry. I'll keep a close eye on her, she responded. When I heard Vito's voice, a flicker of hope ignited within me. He had to care about me. He had to care about our child. I screamed with all my might. Vito, the baby is coming. Right now. Please, have Gianna take me to the hospital. Now. I cried out, my voice a weak, uncontrollable tremble. Gianna hesitated. I heard her whisper into the walkie-talkie, Vito, I'm starting to think this is true. The way she's screaming, I don't believe she's putting on an act. Maybe I should take her to the hospital. He is your only child, after all. If something happened. Vito paused for a few seconds, as if considering it. Then his tone softened. Fine then, you can take her. Just then, a delicate voice purred from his end. Vito, darling, I'm thirsty. Could you bring me some champagne? The doctor says I need to relax if I'm going to have the strength to deliver our little prince. Oh, is Alessia in labor? It's nothing, darling. It doesn't even hurt. Honestly, I feel like I could train for a marathon. Alessia is a strong woman. She'll be fine. Of course it didn't hurt for her. The family's entire medical team and resources had been diverted to her lavish, state-of-the-art private delivery room. She was being treated like a queen. Scarlett's few words were all it took to change everything. To change Vito's mind. His voice turned to ice. What could go wrong? It's an act. She's trying to trick you into to letting her out. Don't believe it. Trusting her will only make you look like a fool. The walkie-talkie clicked dead. Stung by Vito's rebuke, Gianna turned her fury on me. She reached into a leather case and pulled out a snake, advancing on me. Chapter 2. You want to know what real pain is? Then let me teach you a lesson. Have a taste of my pet. Gianna held the black viper in front of my face. Its forked tongue flicked in the air as its cold scales brushed against my arm. No. Before I could scream the word, sharp, searing pain shot through my arm as the viper's fang sank deep into my flesh. Venom burned through my veins like acid, each heartbeat pumping the poison deeper into my body. I forced myself to remain calm, one hand clamped protectively over my stomach, the other pressing desperately against the wound. But the venom was an anticoagulant. Blood gushed from the wound, thin and dark, refusing to clot. I curled into a ball, shivering, too afraid to even move. My snake is very well behaved. It never bites. Gianna cooed, retrieving her snake. But as she drew it back, she felt its scales turn slick in her hand. She glanced down and saw dark blood dripping from its fangs. My vision began to blur. It felt as if 1,000 blades were shredding my womb from the inside. The snakebite on my arm was already a deathly shade of purple-black, and blood still oozed from the wound. I could feel my life draining away, bit by bit. Gianna didn't leave. Her expression twisted from satisfaction to a crazed fury. You bitch. What did you do? Her boot slammed into my abdomen. The force of the blow nearly made me pass out again. My Medusa, she shrieked. You crazy woman. You made her bleed. She's worth more than you and that bastard child combined. The room was dim. She grabbed a handful of my hair, yanking my head up to inspect me. You hurt her. You disgusting slut. She cooed at the snake. My baby must have been terrified of you. Another kick. Each movement was a hammer blow against me and my unborn child. All I could do was curl my body around my stomach, too weak to fight back. Why aren't you screaming now? Keep up the act. Please, don't kick the baby. The baby? Gianna sneered. Stop using the child as a shield. It doesn't make you worthy of the Falcone name. She stroked the viper with one hand while pulling a small spray bottle from her bag with the other. A white mist filled the room. My consciousness began to fade. Now you can lie there quietly and reflect on your place, she hissed. And don't get your hopes up. Only Scarlet's bloodline is worthy of inheriting the family's throne, destined to rule our empire. Perhaps this will help you reflect on your place in this family, Alessia, she said, her voice dripping with contempt. A little something to quiet your nerves. She left in a rage, but not before spraying more of the hallucinogenic gas around the room. The heavy mist sent my body into violent spasms, layering a new kind of agony on top of the snake venom that was already coursing through my veins. Adrift in a haze of pain, I heard it, the faint sobs of my unborn child. A tiny voice echoed in my mind. Mommy, mommy, help me. It was my baby's voice. In the hallucination, I saw a small figure reaching out to me. Mommy, I'm so scared. It hurts so much. Baby, mommy's here. I reached out a trembling hand, trying to embrace him, but my arms closed on empty air every time. I was supposed to welcome my baby today, to hold him tight in my arms. He was just a breath away. Why was fate so cruel to me and my child? My spirit finally broke, and tears streamed silently down my face. Despair, sharp as a dagger, pierced my heart. I gently stroked my belly. My sweet baby, mommy failed you. If there is a next life, I hope you are born into a loving family, where your parents cherish each other. My breathing grew faint, the blood thickening in my veins. Suddenly, the door clicked open, and a blinding light flooded the room. My God, seeing me lying in a pool of blood, the family doctor recoiled in horror. My God, who are you? What did you do to make the boss punish you like this? Even as a doctor, his first instinct wasn't to save me. I'm Vito's wife, I rasped. With a great effort, I lifted my hand to show him my wedding band. The engraved initials were caked with blood, but the letters for Vito and me were faintly visible. He recognized the ring and moved to help, then hesitated. He paused, then cautiously dialed Vito's number. Boss, I found Mrs. Alessia in the underground surgical room. Her condition is critical. She's lost a lot of blood, and it looks like she's been poisoned. Vito's reply was laced with suspicion. Poisoned? That's impossible. She's not bleeding, doctor. That's my sister Snake's blood. Gianna already called me, furious that Alessia somehow hurt her precious pet. His tone turned cold and dismissive. She's perfectly healthy. Just another desperate ploy to deliver first. Don't mind her. I'll deal with this mess myself. The doctor tried to explain further, but Vito had already hung up. He glanced at me with a look of pity, then walked past me to move some equipment. Just as I thought he was going to abandon me, he turned back. It seemed a sliver of his conscience had survived. There are 2 lives here. I'm a doctor. I can't just watch you die, he said, his voice firming with resolve. My own wife is pregnant too. I wouldn't want her to face trouble alone with no one to help. That's why I'm helping you. Finally, he lifted me from the pool of blood and carried me toward the family's medical center. I breathed a deep sigh of relief. My baby was saved. But when we reached the medical center, we both froze. The room was empty. All the medical equipment, the medicine, even the surgical tables, were gone. The equipment? The doctor murmured. Where did it all go? The answer was painfully obvious. Vito had moved every last piece of medical equipment to Scarlet's private luxury clinic. Everything that could have saved me and my child.